Moonstrike. This is Staccato from the Second Street Dreams audio network. I'm Judelyn Gibson. This is In the Shadow of the Mountain, composed by Jennifer Higdon. She's one of 3 composers commissioned for the album Moonstrike by the Apollo Chamber Players of Houston. Founder, artistic and executive director Matthew Detrick says it is part of their 20 by 2020 project.
We wanted to begin this album with our Jennifer Higdon commission, In the Shadow of the Mountain. And this was the final work, the 20th commission of a kind of, if you want to call it a moonshot scale commissioning project that we started in 2014, commissioned 20 new multicultural works by the end of the decade.
That was the idea until the pandemic interfered with their plans. But now it's out with some decidedly different takes on the North American experience.
And so in this piece, she depicts the Great Smoky Mountains and where she grew up in Appalachia. She depicts some of the, misty dawn elements of dawn, and then she depicts a storm. And all of these things kind of mold into one another very seamlessly. And I think that that's a good kind of analogy for the lives that we live in the 21st century in a way.
And then there's the core of the album, Moonstrike, a musical and spoken word piece by Gerard Impapachaha Tate.
Before she lived in the sky, Moon was a maiden of the village, and she was away on an errand when his announcement was made. She did not return until the 4th day, and the Yellow Corn Sisters teased her.
And narrated by Native American astronaut John Harrington.
They were certain she would not win the competition.
We did have the opportunity to work with the wonderful astronaut narrator on Moonstrike, John Harrington, who is the first registered member of a Native American tribe to fly in space. He helped build the space station in 2002.
Every grain stayed. Not one fell to the ground.
This all came about because Detrick is a self-professed space nerd.
Some of the inspiration from this particular album and our Moonstrike commission comes from my dream of wanting to become an astronaut. My boyhood dream. I went to space camp and I read all the space books in my elementary school library. 5th grade, I did a report on the solar system, and at the end of that, I said I wanted to be the first person to play the violin in space. And my teacher, I think I got an A on the project, but when I got it back from her, she wrote next to my life goal, she said, "You can shoot for the stars, Matt. You can do anything you put your mind to."
Moonstrike was produced to honor the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing, but here on Earth, Detrick's idea also includes the work of composer Pierre Jalbert.
A few years ago, I came to him and I said, "I'd love for you to be part of our 20 by 2020 project. You know what we're about. Would anything connected to your, heritage be something that you'd like to write about?" He'd never done that before, and he did some field research in Canada, where he grew up, with some wonderful French-Canadian fiddle tunes and folk tunes.
Matthew Detrick says the Apollo Chamber Players will perform the music from the album Moonstrike next spring at Carnegie Hall. Look for the links on the Staccato page at kmfa.org. That's Staccato. I'm Judelyn Gibson on the Second Street Dreams audio network on secondstreetdreams.com.